Yo, y'all see this fucking video? The nigga pouring out beans.
What's he pouring out beans for?
I retweeted that.
He poured out beans.
Yeah, this dude thought he thought he bought some Loud Pack. And then they put peanuts and beans in that shit. And he just pouring it out. I think
that shit had Gary Payton on it.
He got Gary Payton weed on it and shit. Bro.
This nigga eating beans. Yo, that's you gotta kill a nigga over that. Oh my god.
I mean, it was like 10 packs, man.
Woo! Oh man.
But he had like, I don't know how much he spent, but it was a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome into another episode of the Open Gym Sports and Culture. I'm your host, TW, and with me, I got the squad on the line, an official who's who of the flyest sports talkers out here in the world, but technically in the Chicago area, okay? First up, let me say what's up to my main man, Tone. Tone, what's up? Say what's up to the people.
We live on OGSC. Shout out to my man, Gio, Water Break. Shout out to my man, Big Dub, Ball Sports, CHAGO, my man, Big Dave and Big Dub, and Matt and them, everybody. Shout out.
Matter of fact, thank you for mentioning that. But before we go any further, please let me recognize and pay our respects because we are brought to you today by the OOC Network and the Ball Sports Network. Okay, so up next, certainly we shall not forget to mention one of the frequent friends to this show, but also a friend to the Ball Sports Network. Dub, say what's up to the people.
What's up? I'm more than a friend of the network. I am part of the network. I am the network.
He's the president. Man.
Excuse me, right. I'm not only a member. I'm not only a client. I'm also the president.
I'm the co-president, but I have to buy my own hoodie.
Yes, sir. Show that hoodie. Stand up a little bit, Dub, because can we see that? Yeah, there you go, bro. Ball. I gotta get some.
And if anybody wants one of them fly hoodies, they do take EBT and food stamps. I know. I send it in. They collected my payment, ain't asked no questions, so it's cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. I probably gotta lose like 5 pounds before I actually fit mine, but it's okay. I'm gonna rock it in the spring anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're gonna do it.
Inspiration, man. Inspiration.
All right, and last but certainly not least, my man Rose, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Rose from the Gold. First time resident. Hopefully not the last. Let's get it in.
All right. I hope y'all got your hot takes ready because we about to kick this thing off. Now that Kevin Durant is finally healthy, and it looks like Kyrie Irving is going to go from half man half a season to half man the rest of the season, and he's good. The vaccine mandate in New York City is going to be lifted, and so Kyrie is going to get to play all the games for the Nets going forward, home and away. So with those developments, do we think that the Nets are a lock for the NBA Finals? C-Dub, I'm coming to you first.
A lock, yes. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because before, of course, the mandate, was lifted. But you can't win a championship without your two best players playing well, especially Kyrie Irving, a guy in office who gets his own shot that has premium in the playoffs. Now that he can play home and away, Durant, and remember, there was within three inches of really going far in the playoffs last year. I'm looking at this Eastern Conference here. So there's no team they can't beat. Maybe Miami, I don't know, but any team in the Eastern Conference right now, with Durant playing at a high level, and Irving playing at a high level, that team is deep. They got shooting. If they're healthy fully, I kind of got a small lock, because Miami's good. A small lock. I'm still torn between Miami and the Nets. It's hard, man. The East is really competitive this year. I'm looking at the standings right now. But I gotta believe, man, Durant is too good for him not to even up his game more than he did last year. And with Irvin by his side this year, it's a small lock. I give him a small lock.
All locks are not created equal. I feel you. All right, Tone, it's up on you next. Do you think that the Nets, given all the recent developments, do you think that the Nets are a lock for the NBA Finals?
I'm not going to call them a lock yet. I do kind of agree with Dub though. You know, with the mandate being lifted now, and Kyrie being able to play more games, that kind of changes my mind on what I was thinking. But I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks until somebody can knock them off. Right now they got the championship pedigree, so I'm rocking with the Bucks still until somebody knocks them off.
Boom. All right, bro. What you got next? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that the Nets are a lock for the finals?
No, not at all. I mean, what they 8th in the league right now. So if they started today, what they be playing the Heat first, and then probably if they got past them, they probably would go straight to the Bucks. You know, because they number 2. I can't see them. You know, even with a healthy Kyrie, they still have to go through these tough teams, and they even though they're good, they still have old players. You know what I'm saying? And going through a whole series, going to the finals, it's tough. Milwaukee gonna run them down. You know what I'm saying? One of the best defensive teams in the league, even though they fell off a little bit from defensively last year. They offense still look good, and I can't see them. Then you got Boston too, that's up there. So even if they play them, they would still have to go through Boston. You know what I'm saying? If they get through those teams, so I can't see it happening without what's the team? What's the guy? The guy who's missing the court. Who's the guy missing?
James. Ben.
Man can't shoot. He can't. He can rebound, do all on the flow, but he can't get on the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like without him, I can't see them being a lock. Now, if he gets in there, I think they're a lock to make it to the finals.
I can't say the Nets would be a lock. There's no way I can say Nets would be a lock because unless we are all forgetting, the Bucks went through the Nets to get to the finals last year. So, and I haven't seen any reason to say the Bucks won't be back. The Bucks haven't gotten worse. I got to think Giannis is still ascending. And bro, Giannis just strikes me as the type of player. As a matter of fact, he actually said this. He doesn't rest on his past laurels. And I don't know what answer the Nets have for Giannis. And so I don't have any reason to think that the Nets can overtake the Bucks. You got to wonder if those guys are going to be able to truly put it together and hold it together for a whole playoff run. When they played the 76ers that first game after Harden got traded and they smoked the Sixers, I haven't seen the Nets play that good in 2 years. So that tells you they can turn it on when they want to, but that most of the time they just coasting. And speaking of the Harden trade, what the Nets got back in that trade is a player with a bad back. Ben Simmons hasn't played in a year, and he's still not on the court. Bro, that's crazy. The Nets are looking crazy right now. It's going to look really bad for Steve Nash if you go 0 for 2 with this squad. If they go 0 for 2, somebody's going to have to be the fall guy. And I think it's going to be Steve Nash. So I think that the Nets got more questions than answers, and I definitely wouldn't say they're a lock for the NBA Finals.
I just can't wait for the playoffs, man. Actually, these last 10, 15, whatever it is, games that's going on now is like, oh my God, can this shit end right now?
I think what we really need to talk about is, are the Chicago Bulls a lock for the finals? That's what we need to talk about. Because last time we was here, okay, I need y'all to come to the front of the church. The doors of the church is open. And I need y'all to come on.
Well, first of all, who was that? Who was there last time he was on the show?
It don't listen. You, okay.
And who said the Bulls are going to the finals?
Okay.
Who said the Bulls are going to the finals?
There was somebody here wearing one of them same ball hoodies, okay? And you have to answer for his
service. Like Game of Thrones. Game of Dove like Game of Thrones. You stand for Dave's stead.
I don't think Dave's head maybe number one. But the Bulls just got their bus kit today, and they're not looking to. But yeah, but still, that's
y'all was a little too excited about the additions of DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball
Hold on. You just said we're 5. We're in first place for a lot of the year. That's a lot to be excited about, and this is not last year. And Borland's gone. Trust me, we have progressed. We didn't regress. We progressed. I'll hear you. I understand if we regress, but no. We've been progressing.
We're not contenders right now.
So what y'all saying is like this is like that Obi Trice song, Does She Have Teeth?
Damn. You know what I like even too? Somehow you gotta get that Oscar the Grouch sound. That Oscar the Grouch song when he sang I Love Trash. Bro, if we can make a whole, like, dude, I've been watching that shit now that I got a newborn, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this Oscar the Grouch singing I Love Trash, bro. If we can make a whole montage.
You gotta put a Bulls jersey on him.
No, you gotta put like
New York Jets,
maybe a Lakers jersey who are in the playoffs. Like, I don't know.
It's a couple of teams.
I think it'd be hilarious just to have people just say what they like and then just out of nowhere, Oscar the Grouch. I love trash. Anything dirty.
Movement. The NFL has gone crazy. If y'all thought March Madness was just for the NCAA tournament, NFL said, hold my beer, okay? Because this month alone has seen bananas amount of movement from quarterbacks, receivers, any and everybody you could think of in NFL is moving. Everybody got the moving truck out. Aaron Rodgers got paid. Deshaun Watson is a Cleveland Brown now. Tyreek Hill was choosing between the Jets and Miami. Like, that's even a choice. And of course he chose Miami. But let's focus on the quarterbacks. Russell Wilson is now a Denver Bronco. And y'all tell me, bro, we're gonna come to you first. And I want to know, which QB move do you think is going to be the most impactful in this upcoming season?
Well, I don't know if it's technically a move with Tom Brady coming back. Even though there's some rumors that he might go to another team, I don't see that happening with Tampa Bay because you know they went 13-4, and he had the best chance to come out of go back to the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay since they went, like I said, 13-4 with a weak division, and there's nobody of any substance in their division. So, that pretty much is shoe-in to at least, win a division and possibly go to, win a first-round bye and possibly go to the Super Bowl again, and if you get Gronk back, the band is back together. So, I mean, they lost a couple of pieces, but, with Tom Brady, anything is possible. With Russell Wilson, he's in a tough division. So even though he's going to make the team better, I can't see them necessarily beating anybody. They're in the team with the Broncos went 7-10 last year, and you got the Chargers, the Raiders, the Chiefs. They all possibly getting better. Chiefs picks up they lost Tyreek, but they picks up some draft picks, so they can go after what they consider this a deep draft for wide receivers. So they might be, might have found a couple of good receivers in the draft that make some good weapons for Pat Mahomes. So I believe Tom Brady coming back, and possibly winning one more before he actually officially retires is more impactful than any other quarterback move out there.
C-Dub, we got to send the same question to you. A lot of QB moves this offseason. Which one do you think is going to be the most impactful in this upcoming season?
Yo, man, I got to go by man Rowe, man. I agree. Tom Brady, man. Look, he leaves, they suck. He comes back, they're already a contender. That's how it is. Brady's that's how impactful he is. And you mentioned before, like with Russell, like Rose said, that's a tough division, man. The biggest impact as far as like a team that could aspire to get to the championship has to be Tom Brady. I've learned my lesson. Especially, I probably never learned this lesson. Just don't doubt Tom Brady. Just don't doubt him. Why doubt him? Why risk that chance? You're going to lose a lot more. You're going to win a lot more if you start doubting this man. So I don't doubt Tom Brady. He has the biggest impact right now as far as quarterbacks in the NFL. Despite him being on the team, they're already a Super Bowl contender pretty much like right away. It kind of proves how powerful this one position in the sport is, right? Quarterback position. The most powerful, most important position on the field And it's not like you could trade like a punter or a defensive end. You get a chance to win the championship. It's all about the quarterback, man. And these franchises have definitely realized that, and they're taking a chance, man. Like Deshaun Watson, bad history, but hey, one of a kind, MVP level. You got to go after the man. You take the lumps that come with it. If you want to win the ship, you got to get that guy. Everyone's trying to find that guy. But the guy that's won 7 times in a row, it's not in a row, but 7 championships is Tom Brady. So that's the biggest one to me.
All right, C-Dub. Thank you for that very original answer. All right, Tone, you are up next. Lots and lots and lots of QB moves this offseason. But please tell me, which one, other than Tom Brady, is going to be the biggest move of this offseason?
I don't know the biggest move, but I'll tell you the ballsiest move for whatever way you want to look at it, positive or negative, controversy. And that's the Cleveland Browns picking up Deshaun Watson while still having Baker Mayfield. That's a very interesting move. Cleveland picking up Deshaun Watson while having Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield is now asking for a trade. I think that's some ballsy shit for the fact that, you got 22 women pointing the finger at this man. The grand jury decided not to press charges and arrest him or, bring charges to him. But he has the civil suit that he has to see through. So by Cleveland picking up Deshaun Watson and having him sign this $230 million largest contract in the NFL quarterback history, I believe it's going to be a lot of women getting paid from some of that money. So I think that makes the AFC North interesting. And we'll see how that works out. A very rested Deshaun Watson who doesn't even have to worry about charges now. We'll see.
Yo, for me, I got to say the biggest quarterback move of this offseason was Russell Wilson going from the Seahawks to the Broncos. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen, the argument that everybody makes is probably true. Right now, Russell Wilson is probably the 3rd most talented quarterback in that division. But you know what? He just made all the games matter more. Get ready for a lot of AFC West in prime time. This Russell Wilson to the Broncos move is going to affect the whole league because all eyes are going to be on the AFC West. This might have just became the best division in the NFL. And with Tyreek Hill leaving the Chiefs to go to the Dolphins, you gotta wonder if that's gonna bring Patrick Mahomes down to earth a little bit. Patrick Mahomes has had the best start to his career of any NFL quarterback ever. Patrick Mahomes is at the stage where they're paying him a ton of money. Some of those weapons are getting older / moving on. And it's time for, if you really that dude, you're going to have to show up and show out week after week. And at least 2 times, you're going to have to deal with that man, Dangerous. So Russell Wilson to the Seahawks is going to affect this whole league. And I'm not saying that he just made the Seahawks a Super Bowl contender, but he just changed the game in the AFC West. So to me, Russell Wilson going to the Broncos is the biggest quarterback move this offseason.
Yo, that's kind of crazy. I mean, there's been a lot of quarterback moves. The one quarterback move I'm hoping for, though, and I'm really not hoping for it because fuck them, but the Chicago Bears to get some more offensive linemen. But fuck the Bears, whatever.
Did you just wish for something that would never happen?
Check it out.
Yeah, now that paint job is official, bro. That paint job is official. We gotta see though, like, so all right. So since you repping the Bears, hard body karate, okay, you got it painted on your walls. You probably got a Bears tattoo on you somewhere, okay? You tell us what's your outlook for the Bears? What's your outlook for the NFC North? How's this about to go?
Oh no, man. Well, it's kind of up in the air with Aaron Rodgers losing some of his offensive linemen. He losing his best receiver. His other receivers are kind of old. I mean, what are they getting in return? Some draft picks. You never know what those draft picks going to turn into, and if they're even going to go on an offensive, format on the offensive, buying spree when they get those draft picks. So, I don't see, I see the Bears, with new management, a few new pieces, the way he's making his picks, and the free agents, they're getting like 1 or 2 year deals to see if they're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going in the right direction. How they doing things, seeing if these guys are going to turn out, and if they turn out, sign them to longer term deals, and bringing some good pieces around Justin, so see if he can make it.
Do you think Justin Fields is the real deal? Are you a believer?
I believe he got the potential to be a real deal. He got arm strength. He got, he got guts. You know what I'm saying? He can take some hits. He can run. You know what I'm saying? He can make some tough passes. You know what I'm saying? And he don't bitch. You know what I'm saying? He takes it on the chin. So, and he keep going. So I think, as a young, tough guy, and, he's going to make he got a good career on his side.
Yeah, man. I wanted the Jets to draft Justin Fields, man, but instead they opted for Zach Wilson, and we shall see how this is gonna go. We shall see.
Let me
yes, I love trash. All right, bro. Let me follow up with you on this real quick though. The Packers, as we speak today, have 5 picks in the top 92. They got 2 1s, 2 2s, and a third and a 3. Okay, that's a lot of firepower. With losing Devontae Adams, do you think that the Packers take all or some of these picks and try to use them as a package to jump up maybe into the top 10 and grab one of these high-profile receivers in the draft?
I believe they're gonna give it a shot, at least a couple of those picks, but they still have to gel with Aaron Rodgers. They still have to, work behind that line. They still have to work about that he don't have his top, receivers anymore. And you got a couple of older vets on that line. And, Aaron Rodgers, he getting older too, so he don't have that many years to develop, his receivers. So, I mean, unless they got a bona fide receiver out there that's primed to start right away, they might have to, like you said, package some of those picks and jump up and grab that, something that's a bona fide starter. But other than that, it's all a crapshoot. You never know. Years ago, the Bears took a round receiver by the name of White, but they thought was going to be something. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saying how fast he was, how good his hands was, and what did he turn out being? Trash.
I love trash.
The draft is always, hit or miss. There's always going to be some players that people are going to think is going to be great and they're not, and some players that people don't even look for, towards being anything, and they turn out to be, the steal of the draft. So, you never know with that, but I'm hoping that the Bears, find a way to beat the Packers twice this year. You know what I'm saying? They got to do it,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is awesome. This is so good.
It's Women's History Month, and it just so happens that we got a woman making history. Not just any woman, but a Black woman. Thank you. Ketanji Brown Jackson, she's been nominated for the Supreme Court, but of course, she's facing harsh criticism and resistance from the Republican Party. But if she's confirmed, she will be the first Black woman ever to be a Supreme Court justice. And my question to you, to the panel of superstars, what would be the significance of having the first Black woman as a Supreme Court justice? Tone, I'm gonna come to you first on this, and you tell us what will be the significance here.
Well, one of the main significance is representation. I mean, she's the first Black woman, Black female, will be first Black female nominated judge in the highest court. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is the representation of that matters. I believe her voice matters. I mean, she also has the career of, being able to take this spot. Harvard law degree. Editor for the Harvard Law Review. she's been a federal judge for 9 years. So, you know, I believe she's capable of the job. Now it's just, you know, I guess they're trying to figure out her politics, and that's far more nuanced than, you know, where I would go. But it'll take a lot more research. But, you know, representation matters.
Absolutely. That's certainly true. Representation matters. And yeah, man, I totally agree with you on that. All right, C-Dub, we're gonna come to you next. You tell me, what is the significance of if Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to be confirmed as the first Black woman to be on the Supreme Court?
Well, very significant. You know, we always got to hit milestones, right? So when we were younger, I'm 42. I think I'm 42 years old. I don't know. I stopped counting. You know, you growing up in the 90s, you were told, you know, one day we'll have a first Black president. It could be you. And all this stuff has happened for, you know, Obama, of course. And, you know, it's happened for a lot of our nephews and kids, right? They grow up, they're born with some of the historical figures already been, you know, setting the sort of like the landmark in history. And they could grow up thinking this is normal, right? So this is just another milestone we have to hit. I don't even watch those hearings because, like, it's just ridiculous. I get too angry and I want to, like, film something off the TV, so I just stay away from it. And she's so squeaky clean. Like, they knew she was going to be nominated, but the Republicans had years to come up with dirt, and they can't come up with anything.
Right.
They literally can't. They cannot come up with a damn thing. You know, it doesn't swing the vote because you just replace another Democrat, but it's a start, right? It's a start. So somebody has to start off. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to start off. You know, and she did. She's kicking it off. And hopefully there'll be more like her, you know, in the Supreme Court. You know, maybe not Black, but maybe another minority, you know, whatever. You can have men talk about women's bodies all the time and making laws about them without some kind of representation up top. So someone has a voice for the Black female and female in the Supreme Court. Not yet, but hopefully will be Ms. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
All right, roll from the go. Same questions on you. Tell us what would be the significance if she is confirmed as the first Black woman to be a Supreme Court justice.
Well, correct you a small bit. It ain't a matter of if, it's a matter of when, you know.
And this nomination is confirmed.
But, you know, like I said, for the strength of number one, the Black nation, you know, there is very little representation of Blacks in the Supreme Court. There's only one other one, which is Clarence Thomas, which he's considered conservative, and he's not really, you know, liberal or you know, or urban as if, you know, as Ketanji seems to be, you know, more attuned to the Black plight, you know, the attacks against, you know, a lot of rights that a lot of the Republican states, you know, are trying to, you know, do away with, as, you know, such as Roe versus Wade, you know, that's being challenged in Texas and a lot of other states. You know, like I said, liberal voice when it comes to, you know, things of that nature, you know, that people of, like I said, of color, it takes more of a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? She would take that opinion and matter as you know, making her judgments. So, you know, we finally get another representation in there, and there's no telling when another one will come, you know, and she's relatively young, only 51 years old. Justices are in there for life, so you can imagine that she's going to be in there for, you know, health-wise, 20 or 30 years. So, you know, we look forward to, you know, those type of rulers and those type of judgment that at least represent us to some degree until more, like you said, you know, people of color get into the Supreme Court. A little bit more diversity make up America. You know, America is becoming more diverse year after year, you know, and, you know, it is about time that it reflects, you know, the true America.
Nice. Yes, I totally agree. I think y'all all made excellent points. So let's start with the optics, right? The optics are important. It's very important for people who look like her, who look like us, to be able to look and see that you can achieve, that someone that looks like you, right, can achieve the highest courts in the land. She also, I would say, is easily of the most qualified of all the judges, because she's actually been through the legal system at at levels that can relate to the average human, right? The average American. She worked
Right.
as a public defender. Okay. Like, so why does that matter? That matters because we're talking about somebody who, as a public defender, has without a doubt defended a client that was damn near undefendable. As a lawyer, when you experience that, it has to affect the way that you are going to handle things when you get a chance to sit on the bench. That matters. And we should all just take a moment to appreciate it, because it does mean a lot. And it does show some level of racial progress in this country, that we're getting to a spot, like you guys mentioned, where kids are going to have grown up having lived through Barack Obama as president and Kamala Harris as a vice president, and now Ketanji Brown Jackson as a Supreme Court justice. And it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing, and it's the country that we all hope to live in going forward.
Yeah.
I learned so much on this show. That's all I have to say.
You know some things are going right when the quote unquote opposition hates it, right? When the no question. So you know progress is being made when you advance and hit a wall.
No question.
And you just break it down. You ship it away. Right, and they're slowing down the progression of the U.S. as a whole in a way, because we're not represented. And it's amazing. Like, I always imagine what it would be like if aliens just came in and looked at us. What the hell's going on? In the United States, like aliens came in, aliens fully objective, unbiased, see us all as one group, and they look at the United States, and they go, "What the hell?" No, this is the United States. The world's fucked up. But this United States. And you go, "You guys are voting, but you hate that. You're not represented equally, right?" Like, I was reading, what's that? I got 42. The Democrats represent 42 more million people, but they had the same Senate seats. Like, that's insane. That's not representation. You live in the world where gerrymandering. It's just not what the United States is right now. It is not. But the weird thing about it, though, it's probably the best you're going to get. This is what it looks like in civil, in democracy. It's hard because you have people
at least in
our
want
democracy.
At least in our generation,
Our generation,
King didn't live to see, where we at right to this day. We might not live to see where, with his pure harmony. You know what I'm saying? Like a melting pot, like New York, but probably more integrated, more. You know what I'm saying? More love, more understanding instead of hate. Whereas people can go to any judge and any criminal justice system and feel like they're gonna get a fair shake. It might be years. We probably never see that time, but it probably come a time when it happens where that's a norm. Just like us walking, shoulder to shoulder with white folks and up and down the street with them wasn't normal. Probably back in the 50s and 60s, where you had to walk on the other side of the street, you couldn't, eat with them, you couldn't, breathe on them, you couldn't look at them without possibly getting killed. So you got to take into consideration that, even though, things are bad, like they were worse, and, seeing her, being a part of the justice system is, like you said, like all of us said, it's a step in the right direction. How long is it going to take for more diverse people to be on the courts, and even with not even necessarily having to be diverse, but even with the whoever the justice, be able to see everybody as an equal and be able to see everybody, and understand where they're coming from. That's the most important thing. Despite like I said, us being there represented is important, but us being seen in a positive light by everybody, as seen as human, it's more important than us having any one person in any one position, in the world. But man, it's still like I said, it's still like a beautiful thing. We got to take it and get for right now.
Yeah, and that's where the majority of where the majority of people in the United States are, right? They are at that level. They're ready to go there. But unfortunately, you have this big wall called politics that just that's act as a big ass filter that won't let all the good stuff go through. It takes forever. It's a slow road, man. It's a very slow road.
Yeah,
Generational.
It's crazy too.
Generational
Like,
slow road.
The local people, they absorb the national politics so much, right? They're like, people in your local town be arguing about the stuff they hear on, like, you know, Fox News or CNN, and it's like, dog, like, a lot of that stuff ain't even like affecting us like on the street level like that. You know what I mean? Like, people out here, again, people go to your local town Facebook page. I bet you it's people in there arguing about critical race theory. It's like, dog, stop. Ain't nobody teaching that in your elementary school. But at the core, like, what you're saying is you don't want your children to, you know, to learn more about the reality of our country. And that part is sad. You know what I mean? But you want to know what else is sad is that Joe Biden is going to use this to try and get reelected.
He's a politician. I mean,
oh yeah, no question.
He's supposed to.
You know what he said?
But if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Well, a lot of, not to say whites, will have anybody that's against critical race theory. I think a lot of them feel like it's almost like in the drug, in the illicit drug trade. You know, it's like a gateway drug. Like they consider weed a gateway drug to harder drugs. They might consider people buying this a critical race theory as a gateway into reparations, and things of that nature, and more important things are, black people getting their 40 acres and a mule, you know what I'm saying, given something that they feel like, we don't deserve. So I think a lot of times they want to shut that down because that'll easy, teach their kids that, yeah, these people were done wrong, and a lot of them have had stuff snatched out from under them. Just like you hear stories about a lot of some of these people who had land, their ancestors' land snatched from them, able to get some of it back. There's been a lot of that going on lately. People getting their land back. I think it was I forgot where it was at. I had it, but it was a beachfront. Whereas they ended up giving it back to the black family, and that was worth over like 300-something million or something like that. It's like a lot of things been happening, and if more of that critical race theory go out and people realize like how much damage was actually done to a lot of black folks, a lot of that stuff would be overturned, and they don't want that to happen,
Yeah, man. I think the ultimate goal that anybody would want is just so that our kids' generation is not sitting here having the same conversations we're having today. You know what I mean? Point. So that like when one of my son or my daughter's classmates, when they look on the news and see a riot in a black neighborhood, if they don't just say, why are they burning their own stuff down, right? Like, no, you need to understand there's a reason why you look on TV and you feel like all the black neighborhoods are effed up. You know what I mean? Like, there's reasons for that. You know what I mean? And I think that like that's how we as a country stay in this cycle, is because we refuse to teach people the truth until they're too far dug in that they don't want to hear it. So such is life, but you gotta take the victories when they come. And I think that as for us, man, as black people, like this is a win. This is something to celebrate. All right, y'all, we are almost done, but before we send you on your way, we like to do a little something called the final shot. So Tone, the final shot, it's on you.
Yeah, well, I'm 43 years old and just became a father again for the third time. 5 months, year old, and this shit crazy, man. This shit is not made for a man that is not rich and still has dreams and still trying to capture and do everything he wants to do in life. Because all I do is go to work and then be home with the kid. So, this is a warning to all you young brothers out there without you, and my friends without it. If you got shit you trying to accomplish, strap up or pull out. That is my PSA. I love my kids though. That is my PSA in the final shot. I love you, y'all.
You are Oh, lucky. You a girl dad like Kobe.
For sure.
All right, Ro. The final shot is on you.
Yeah, my final shot is about inflation. You know, what goes up, it barely goes down. Inflation. You know, it's at its highest since 1982. You know, it's at a 7.9% rate. What's called the consumer price index of what you spend for goods and services. Shit just high. You know what I'm saying? From your fish to your beef, you know, everything is like twice as high as it was even like a year ago. Gas, during the pandemic was almost under $2. And we almost at $5 in Chicago, where some gas station you paying over $5. You know, it's real serious. Whereas, you know, the average everyday family can't really afford, you know, to feed their family or go to work. Ubers is up, so you can't really Uber anywhere. You know, everything is up. Besides, you know, the things we need to be up is our paychecks. You know, so you know, that's a serious thing that we all got to deal with, and you know, who knows when that's going to ease. You know, that's a serious thing that we all got to keep in mind. And I mean, we have no end in sight. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime soon. So I just want everybody to be mindful of that. You know, drive a little bit slower at 55. You know what I'm saying? Everybody save a little dollars in your gas. Cook a little bit more. Stop going out to, you know, doing Uber Eats and all of that stuff. Keep some money in your pocket because you're gonna need it for the future.
All right, C-Dub. Very, very thoughtful and insightful, brother. The final shot is on you.
No, it's funny, like, you know, and the world sees of dire, right? The news, of course, shows negative stuff all the time, majority of the time. And the human beings, as a general, we love the negative. We kind of seek their blood, their sweat, the outlandish, the violence. That's kind of our nature. But I think we just need to appreciate like the time we're in now and what we have as a country, and also as a human being. We have you could go to, even if you go to poverty 20 years ago, that's improved dramatically. If you're poverty now, your way of life is way better than it was in the past. There's a stat where you're more likely to be struck by lightning twice than your kid to get kidnapped. Like, it doesn't happen. Your kids don't get kidnapped. They can go out and play. It's cool. You can talk to strangers. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world's better than I think what you think in general as a whole. And yes, you do have people in poverty, have wars, everything, but still, I think we need to take back some time and understand where we are as a race, as a country, and appreciate what you have. And if you have abundance, and you have wealth, please share it, amongst your friends and people that lift them up. Don't drive to work angry all the time. The worst things in life. You're going to work, be happy.
If you know me, if you talk to me for more than 10 minutes, or if you follow me on social media, you know that my guilty pleasure that I don't even feel guilty about is pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling. It's been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid. I grew up in rural North Carolina, and it just was a part of my life that I never outgrew, okay? I'm still a big-ass kid. It is what it is. But so many people don't like wrestling, and that's fine. But guess what? If you don't like wrestling, have I got the event for you. It's called WrestleMania. It is WrestleMania season, and WrestleMania is the biggest show in the wrestling industry. It's the Super Bowl of pro wrestling. It's the NBA Finals of pro wrestling. It's the Olympics of pro wrestling, okay? And here's the thing. WrestleMania is not for wrestling fans. WrestleMania is not for the people who watch Monday Night Raw every week and watch SmackDown every week, and we know all the characters and all the storylines. It's not for us. WrestleMania is for all of you. It's for all the people who don't watch wrestling. WWE knows this. They know what I just said, that people don't watch wrestling all year, but they've heard of Brock Lesnar, so they put Brock Lesnar on the poster, and they want you to see Brock Lesnar, and you say, I remember when Brock Lesnar used to kill people in the UFC. Let me see what he's doing now. WrestleMania, let me check that out. I'm not trying to tell you wrestling is good all year, because it's not. But if you're going to watch wrestling, now is the time to do it. All right, y'all, that's our show for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We hope you had a good time. We sure have fun doing this for you. Make sure you check out the podcast, which is a longer version of this show. You get to catch all the stuff that we took out that couldn't make the edits. You know, our editor sneakily cut it down, cut out some of our stuff, but you get to catch all that on the podcast. Make sure you check out the Open Gym Sports and Culture Water Break, just a little something we do weekly or bi-weekly to quench your thirst in between episodes of the mothership right here. Okay, for Roll from the Go, for Tone, for C-Dub, I'm your host TW. This is Open Gym Sports and Culture.